a TikTok star adored for his larger-than-life impersonations and millions of fans online. A wife trying to reclaim her freedom. A deadly confrontation that left 2 people dead and a young child without both parents. What really happened inside that San Diego apartment on October 21st, 2021? Welcome to True Crime Theatre HQ. For more trending true crime cases like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this story with your friends. Let's uncover the truth together. Ali and Anna's story began like a romance straight out of a dream. They met in Okinawa, Japan. Ali, an airman stationed with the US Air Force, and Anna, a young woman from the Philippines working at a local bar. Sparks flew instantly. Ali was captivated by Anna's beauty and warmth, while Anna was drawn to his larger-than-life personality. Their connection was undeniable, and soon after, they left Japan to begin a new life together in the United States. Settling in Virginia, they built a life that seemed idyllic. They married, welcomed a beautiful daughter, and appeared to have everything going for them. It was during this time that Ali discovered TikTok, a platform that would change their lives forever. What started as a creative outlet for Ali turned into a rapid rise to internet fame. With his uncanny impersonations of Tony Montana from Scarface, Ali gained a loyal following. His charm, humor, and ability to mimic beloved characters made him a TikTok sensation. But it wasn't just Ali who captured the hearts of their growing audience. Soon, Anna began appearing in his videos. Together, they danced, laughed, and shared their seemingly joyful life with the world. Millions of people followed them, commenting on how perfect they were as a couple. Their videos painted the picture of a happy, loving family, one that many envied. By February 2021, Ali and Anna decided to take a leap and move to San Diego. For Anna, it was a chance to reconnect with old friends and find a sense of community. For Ali, it was an opportunity to be closer to Los Angeles, where he hoped to expand his social media career. The move seemed like another step toward their bright future. They settled into a luxury high-rise apartment, continued creating TikTok content, and embraced the vibrant nightlife of San Diego. From the outside, their lives appeared glamorous. They were young, successful, and living in a bustling city. Ali's TikTok account continued to grow, with fans showering them with praise. They were the epitome of a modern social media power couple, living what many would call the American dream. But as their audience cheered for their happiness, not everything was as it seemed. Behind the viral videos and curated smiles, their relationship was beginning to shift. Subtle cracks were forming, cracks that no one watching their TikToks could see. At first, Ali and Anna's life in San Diego seemed like a fresh start, but beneath the surface, things were beginning to fall apart. Ali's growing TikTok success, combined with the pressures of fame, started changing him. He became more paranoid, more controlling. His behavior shifted in ways that no one could ignore. Ali began accusing Anna of spending too much time with her friends and would lash out during arguments, claiming she was unfaithful. His paranoia was fueled by his increasing use of cocaine, a habit that only made his temper worse. He became possessive, erratic, and aggressive, traits that made Anna feel unsafe in her own home. But Anna wasn't the same woman she had been when they first met. She began to push back. She started to reconnect with old friends in San Diego, rebuilding the support network she had left behind years ago. For Anna, it felt like a step toward regaining her independence, but for Ali, it felt like she was slipping away. By September 2021, the tension had reached its peak. One night, after a heated argument, Anna called 911 to report that Ali had become violent. In the call, you can hear the fear in her voice as she tells the dispatcher, "He pushed me. I hit my head." While Anna was on the phone seeking help, Ali was posting live on social media, berating her for calling the police. His words were filled with anger and resentment, and his growing paranoia was on full display. He accused her of betraying him, claiming she owed him everything for bringing her to the United States. When police arrived at their apartment, Anna gave them her statement. She described how Ali had shoved her during an argument, causing her to fall and injure herself. Officers documented her injuries, took photographs, and advised her to file a restraining order. But Anna hesitated. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was hope that things could still change, that Ali could become the man she once loved. Whatever the reason, she chose not to file one. After that night, Anna made the brave decision to leave. She moved out of their shared apartment with their daughter and stayed with a close friend. Ali, however, refused to leave the apartment and continued to harass Anna, alternating between desperate apologies and angry outbursts. In one video message, he pleaded, "I'm so sorry for what I'm putting you through. It was the drugs, my insecurities." But in the next breath, he would berate her, calling her names and accusing her of being disloyal. Anna tried to move on, but Ali couldn't let go. His controlling behavior escalated. He began recording their arguments, posting personal details online, and obsessively trying to track her movements. He even started researching how to spy on Anna, learning how to install listening devices and use technology to monitor her every move. It became clear that Ali's obsession with Anna wasn't just emotional, it was dangerous. And though Anna had taken steps to protect herself, the choices she made would soon have devastating consequences. After Anna left the apartment and moved in with a friend, Ali's behavior became even more erratic. He couldn't accept the separation and began to unravel under the weight of his emotions. One moment, he'd send Anna heartfelt apology videos, pleading for forgiveness. In a trembling voice, he'd say things like, "I'm so sorry for what I'm putting you through. It was the drugs, my insecurities." He wanted her back and promised to change. But the very next moment, he'd lash out in rage. He would post videos online, berating Anna, accusing her of betrayal and mocking her for calling the police. In one post, he bitterly shouted, "I brought you to this country. Name one man who would have done that for you." His attempts to win her back were overshadowed by his anger and obsession. Ali's paranoia began to consume him. He was convinced Anna was seeing someone else, and the thought of her moving on without him pushed him further into a dark mental state. Desperate for control, he researched ways to monitor her. He learned how to install hidden listening devices and apps that would allow him to spy on her remotely. Then Ali made a chilling decision. He used his daughter's iPad to keep tabs on Anna. Without her knowledge, he activated a listening app that allowed him to hear everything happening inside Anna's new home. This wasn't just about wanting to know where she was or who she was with. This was about control. Ali needed to feel like he still had power over Anna, even from a distance. And then, on the morning of October 21st, 2021, it happened. While listening to the iPad, Ali heard voices. A man's voice, laughter, Anna's voice, giggling. That was all it took. Ali's paranoia and fury exploded. He grabbed his gun, loaded it, and got into his car. His mind was set and his heart was racing. Whatever he thought he had heard on that device was enough to send him into a murderous rage. October 21st, 2021 started like any other day, but it would end in unimaginable tragedy. Ali Abulaban, consumed by jealousy and paranoia, was listening in on his estranged wife Anna's private conversations through a listening device he had secretly installed on their daughter's iPad. That morning, as he sat alone, he heard something that pushed him over the edge. A man's voice, laughter, Anna's voice, giggling. Ali's mind raced. He couldn't take it anymore. He was convinced Anna had moved on, and the thought of her being with someone else was too much for him to bear. Fueled by rage and cocaine, Ali grabbed his gun, loaded it, and got into his car. His destination was clear: the apartment he once shared with Anna. When he arrived at the luxury high-rise, Ali parked his car and entered the building using a keycard he had kept without Anna's knowledge. Surveillance footage captured him walking calmly into the elevator, his gun hidden under a baggy sweatshirt. But inside, he was anything but calm. He started an audio recording on his phone, documenting every step of what he was about to do. At 2:58 p.m., Ali stepped off the elevator and ran down the hallway toward the apartment. The audio recording captured the sound of his footsteps, the beep of the keycard unlocking the door, and then Anna's scream. Within seconds, Ali racked his gun and fired the first shot. His target was Raburn Barron, Anna's friend, who had been sitting in the living room. Ali shot him multiple times, twice in the head and once in the throat. Raburn didn't stand a chance. Anna, terrified, screamed again. Ali turned to her, racked his gun once more, and fired a single shot to her forehead. She collapsed instantly. But Ali wasn't done. His actions after the murders were as cold as they were calculated. He took out his phone and began taking photos of the lifeless bodies of Anna and Rayburn. He sent these photos to his parents and a friend, as if documenting what he had done was some kind of twisted victory. Minutes later, Ali called 911. His voice was calm, almost detached, as he pretended to have just discovered the crime scene. "My wife and another man, they're dead," he told the dispatcher. "Bullet to the face." He described the scene as though he were an innocent bystander stumbling upon a horrific tragedy. But Ali's calm demeanor didn't last. As the call continued, his voice cracked, and he began to plead, "Please help my wife. Please help." Yet, the evidence he left behind, the photos, the audio recording, and the surveillance footage told a very different story. After making the call, Ali left the apartment and drove to pick up his daughter from school. When police arrived at the scene, they found Anna and Rayburn's bodies exactly as Ali had described. The officers quickly identified him as the prime suspect and tracked him down. When they pulled him over, Ali told his young daughter, "I hurt Mommy. I'm going away for a long time." It was a confession that would haunt everyone involved in the case. After the murders, Ali Abulaban left the apartment and drove to pick up his 5-year-old daughter from school. As he buckled her into the car, he said words that would haunt her forever. "I hurt Mommy. I'm going away for a long time." Ali's attempt to flee with his daughter didn't last long. Police, already alerted to the crime scene, tracked him down quickly. When officers pulled him over, Ali didn't resist. He was calm, almost detached, as he handed over his daughter to the authorities. But the weight of what had just happened was undeniable. A young girl had lost her mother, and her father was now in handcuffs, accused of taking 2 lives. Ali was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, one for Anna and one for Rayburn Barron. As the case moved to trial, the courtroom became a battleground of emotions, evidence, and conflicting narratives. The prosecution painted a clear picture of premeditation. They argued that Ali's actions, spying on Anna, loading his gun, and entering the apartment with a keycard, were deliberate and calculated. They described him as a controlling, jealous man who couldn't handle the idea of Anna moving on. If he couldn't have her, no one could, they told the jury. The defense, however, had a different story. They claimed this wasn't premeditated murder, but a crime of passion. They argued that Ali was emotionally distressed, fueled by drug use, and overwhelmed by the pain of losing his family. They tried to humanize him, pointing to his troubled childhood and struggles with mental health. He snapped, they said. This was not a cold-blooded act. It was a moment of uncontrollable rage. Ali himself took the stand, a move that surprised many. Over 3 days, he told his version of events, alternating between calm explanations and emotional outbursts. He claimed he never intended to kill anyone, that he was heartbroken and desperate. But during cross-examination, his true nature began to show. When confronted with evidence of his controlling behavior, Ali lashed out at the prosecutor. His voice rose, his words became defensive, and his composure cracked. The jury saw a man who wasn't just grieving, but someone who was volatile and dangerous. The courtroom drama didn't stop there. Ali's mother also testified, sharing stories of his abusive childhood and the struggles he faced growing up. She described a home filled with violence and fear, hoping to explain how her son had become the man he was. But even her heartfelt testimony couldn't overshadow the evidence against him. The trial was filled with tense moments, but none were more powerful than the closing arguments. The prosecution reminded the jury of the cold, calculated steps Ali took that day. He executed a plan, and then he executed them, they said. The defense, on the other hand, pleaded for understanding, asking the jury to see Ali as a broken man who acted out of pain, not malice. After a day and a half of deliberation, the jury reached their verdict. Guilty on both counts of first-degree murder. Ali showed little emotion as the decision was read. But the families of Anna and Reburn were overcome with grief and relief. Before sentencing, Anna's and Reburn's families had the chance to speak. Their words were filled with anger, heartbreak, and a longing for justice. "You've taken everything from us," Anna's sister said through tears. "You destroyed our family." When it was Ali's turn to speak, he delivered a lengthy statement, claiming the jury had misunderstood him and that he was a victim of his own emotions. But the judge wasn't convinced. "I've watched you throughout this trial," the judge said. "You're a talented actor, but this courtroom isn't a stage. Your tears are for yourself, not for the lives you've taken." Ali was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He will spend the rest of his days behind bars, leaving behind a trail of devastation that can never be undone. The courtroom was heavy with emotion as the sentencing phase for Ali Abulaban's trial began. Family members of Anna and Rayburn Barron stood before the judge, speaking through tears and anger about the devastating impact Ali's actions had on their lives. Anna's sister, her voice trembling with pain, looked directly at Ali and said, "You've taken everything from us. You didn't just kill my sister, you destroyed our family." For Raburn's sister, the grief was no less overwhelming. "My brother had a beautiful soul," she said. "He was my mother's baby, and now she has to live the rest of her life knowing her youngest son was taken in such a violent way. What you did cannot be forgiven." The courtroom grew silent as Ali was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge made it clear that there would be no leniency. He called out Ali's lack of remorse and criticized his behavior throughout the trial. "I've watched you during this entire process," the judge said. "Your tears are for yourself, not for the lives you've taken. You're a talented actor, but this courtroom is not a stage. You've shown no real sorrow for what you've done." For Ali's daughter, the consequences of his actions are immeasurable. In one horrific moment, she lost both parents, her mother to murder and her father to a lifetime behind bars. Now she will grow up in the shadow of this tragedy, a young girl forced to carry the weight of a loss she may never fully understand. The judge's final words echoed in the courtroom. "You will spend the rest of your life in prison. You will die there. That is the price for what you've done." The case of Ali Abu Laban is more than just a tragic story of two lives lost. It's a sobering reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence and the danger of ignoring the warning signs. Anna's story echoes what so many victims of abuse endure: the struggle to break free from control, the fear of retaliation, and the hope that things might somehow get better. But in her case, leaving wasn't enough to save her. Their relationship, once celebrated by millions, was a stark contrast to the reality behind closed doors. On TikTok, Ali and Anna seemed like the perfect couple. Their videos radiated joy, love, and humor, giving their growing audience no reason to suspect the tension brewing beneath the surface. But as their fame grew, so did Ali's need for control. His jealousy, his paranoia, and his addiction all became a toxic combination that ultimately led to tragedy. This case is a harsh reminder that appearances can be deceiving. A smiling face on a screen doesn't always reflect what's happening in real life. Behind the filters and curated videos was a man consumed by jealousy and rage, and a woman who paid the ultimate price for trying to break free. Anna's death is a heartbreaking cautionary tale. It highlights the importance of recognizing the red flags in abusive relationships and taking action before it's too late. It's a reminder to support those who may be in danger, to listen to their fears, and to help them find a way out. And while Ali now faces the harsh reality of life behind bars, the impact of his actions will linger forever. A young girl will grow up without her parents. Two families will never fully heal, and the world will remember the tragic end of a life that deserved so much more. Let us know your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more shocking true crime stories.